So you want to grow garlic from seed to harvest? Well, I got a few tips and tricks that'll help you get there. The first thing with garlic is it actually doesn't start from seed. They do produce scapes, which has the seeds in them, but we bred them so much that the seeds don't actually produce and they don't actually grow. So what we do is we take our garlic from the previous year, or you can even go to the store. I actually started this whole project with just store-bought garlic. Put in the pantry. Well, I noticed it was sprouting, so I was like, oh, I should try this. And I actually planted it on the other side of the house in the first bed we ever did. And then that worked, kind of. So we tried it again with actual garlic from the store, which it was soft neck, which this is a soft neck, and that over there is a hard neck. Neck didn't do as good as this soft neck did, but there's a few tricks that after this year I wasn't sure exactly when I read it on or seen it on YouTube if it was a real thing or not, so I had to try it, and I ended up with some like this, and I ended up with some that aren't as good. So we're going to go ahead and harvest what we got and see what happens. When it comes to harvesting garlic, typically you're going to want to let the first 3 leaves die. So 1, 2, and then see this one starting to go. I'm going to let these go a little bit longer, but these ones that got the neck broke over, I don't know if it was the weather or if it was an animal, whatever, doesn't matter to me. I'm going to get them out of here, but first we're going to have to do some heavy pruning on these tomatoes and stuff to give me some room to work. So when it comes to pruning tomatoes, I don't normally do it over here because this is the volunteer garden. I planted the garlic and the potatoes, but the tomatoes are volunteer plants because I tried cold compost. So is that vine that I don't know what it is. That one over there is definitely going to be a hummingbird plant. Then the dill, the onion, stuff like that is just from previous projects that I've tried that I'm still working on currently. Pruning the tomatoes, essentially you can prune all the way to the first flowers, and then you cut your suckers out, so on and so forth. But like I said, over here I don't really mess with any of that, but I am today. That one shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think that's actually a tree, but I'm mostly letting these tomatoes just go for the fact of, some people say you don't trim the suckers, you get more produce. The more you do trim the suckers, bigger tomatoes. It's just a big debate. So just wanted to see for myself what I thought. Because pruning takes a long time, especially with all these different tomatoes. I mean, total I've got 50 tomatoes in the main garden. I think 20 or 30 here, plus the 10 in the containers. So we'll see what happens. Leave that guy because he's not completely fell over yet. But here's the big one. It's what I do when I do my garlic, because I try not to till this bed too often, is I go down as far as I can with the spade and then just kind of soften everything up a little bit. I grab it and I break up some of this clay and get some of the grass and stuff down in there deeper. So I use grass clippings as my mulch, which that garlic I love with. So that sucker is a honker. Like, I'm happy with that. Oh, that one looks like it's going to be a monster too. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh yeah. Him's Beautimist. Beautimist. So another reason why I like to roll the soil the way I do is so I was watching a video. So calcium is heavier than dirt. So it falls down below surface. And so when you pull it up, you don't really reach the reserve very well, but you get some of it and pull it back up, which is kind of convenient. It's another good one. And then this one is one of the test ones. What I've heard is true or not. Well, that's not terrible. So what I see on a lot of these videos is they say, oh, the little ones won't create very good bulbs, which it's not as big as those other ones, but it's decent. Got some tomato root on that one. Okay, so another small piece of bulb. Not very big, but it'll do. That'll do, pig, that'll do. Without hindering him anyway. Waiting Better settle down there. Oh, the sucker just in there. Alright, another nice. Oh, well, that one's laid. Oh, crap. Okay. That guy's got a big old root ball on him. Nice. Alright, let's get this next one out of here. Alright. We're going to take our garlic, just like it is. We're going to go on a little trip. And what I do with mine is I just take it. I don't get fancy because I'm not grown enough to really need a big old rack or anything like that. I just put it in a nice flower plant, potter thingy, hanging basket. There you go. And then in about 3 weeks, you end up with something like that. All I do is I grab this, all the papery stuff. It'll peel right off there, like so. Gets all the dirt off. Take my handy dandy scissors. Right here where it's creased at, that's about an inch. Flip that off. See, that's a little green still inside there. That's not what we wanted. But we're already here, so let's do this thing. Flip those roots off. There you go. Once that's completely dry, I'd give it at least 3 to 4 weeks, if not longer. That would store quite well, actually. And the rest of it I just throw back in the garden as a compost. When it comes to planting garlic, there's a lot of information out there. I dug through it, and I've used store-bought garlic. I wish this one was a little more dry. I've used seed garlic. I've used hardneck and I've used softneck. Seems like the softneck does better here in zone 6B. The hardneck does okay, but it really didn't put on much of a bulb from what I've seen thus far. We had some knocked over and broken stuff, so I went ahead and checked that out. You take all your garlic after it's dried. This is what I just grew this season. Put it all off, up something like that. And so what I did find is that these little ones do in fact produce smaller bulbs than these bigger ones, which these aren't really that big in general, but you know, whatever. And then the science of what everybody says needs to be done is pretty limited. I just take this handy dandy cup hole puncher, which is I think 6 inches, I think is what I said, 6 to 8 maybe. And so when I do my rows, I just come in, punch the hole. I set the garlic down inside there. Pointy side up. That's the root side. That's the leaf side. If you plant it like this, it does a weird thing and it does come back around. But I also had some of them rot where I was messing with it. So best preference down, up. But I plant these about, like I said, 7 to 8 inches down. I plant them on November 1st. And by June 20th, you're ready to rock. But always plant the bigger ones. I plant all of them, but the bigger ones do produce bigger bulbs. There's no denying that. All these ones that are kind of tiny in this back row were off the same ones that I planted the big ones off of. And the big ones produced much larger bulbs than the small ones. And the other great thing about softneck is they don't actually produce a scape. Like these ones didn't anyway. I mean, my hardneck did in fact produce scapes, and first off, they were delicious. We took them off and fried them. The softneck produced better bulbs. And come November, I'll be planting everything I just harvested from here down yonder. And then soon, we'll be talking about the bulb or the potatoes I planted in November as well, which is pretty outstanding.